everyone, and welcome to Flower Press. I'm Courtney, the founder and CEO of Daily Blooms. In this episode, we chatted with the incredibly creative Alisha Henderson, founder of Sweet Bakes, co-founder of Coobake Space, and recently published cookbook author of Everybody Loves Cake. Hello, Alicia. Hi. So to jump straight in, you wear so many hats. So many hats. Can you tell me a little bit about how you found yourself in the world of baking?
Yeah, I mean, I feel as if this career is somewhat accidental. This is not the job that I thought that I was going to have.
Really?
No. I thought it seems like it should have always been the plan, but it wasn't. I was actually studying a journalism degree at university and I was working as a dancer. None of these things make sense when it comes to cake, right?
Very
random. Very random. But I just started posting photos at that inception point of Instagram of my very amateur hobby baking. And I had strangers paying attention all of a sudden. Yeah. And I don't know if I could see the roadmap of all the things I wanted coming to fruition, but I had this gut feeling that all the things I wanted could be through cake. Like writing, I was passionate about writing, obviously the journalism. So I was like, maybe the cake can take me to doing a cookbook. I was dancing, which was very performative. So I was like, maybe cake can help me do TV and media and express that part of my goals and visions. So yeah, I lent in, and this will be my 13th year in business. So I started when I was 19, which is also just a crazy thing to start a company when you're 19 years old. So yeah, 13th year this year, which is very exciting.
That is wild. I actually didn't even realize it was 13 years.
It's a long time, isn't it? Yeah. It's a long time. It's almost half my life.
It's almost half your life.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Well, can you tell me a little bit then about what Sweet Bakes, or was it even called Sweet Bakes then?
Like, it was called Sweet Bakes from the outset, which I actually think totally sounds like the name a 19-year-old would call their business. It's so literal.
It's Sweet Bakes. Daily Blooms.
Right?
So,
We've left nothing to the imagination, right? Great for SEO, so no. It's always been Sweet Bakes, but it was originally in those startup years just taking on orders for birthdays and christenings and all those types of things and the big wedding cakes. But I started very humbly in my parents' home kitchen, which you can imagine was
amazing. Your parents would have loved that.
Oh, they loved it. When Mum was like, can I just put a chicken Kiev in the oven? And I'm like, sorry, bad, I'm baking a wedding cake. So yeah, really good. So I started there. I think I was at the home kitchen for about 3 or 4 years before I finally moved into a commercial premises.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So our brands have now partnered for quite a long time. We sell a lot of Sweet Bakes cakes, which make an amazing birthday gift.
I'm biased, but I do agree.
This is not a sales video, but anyway, they do make an amazing birthday gift. But one of the things that I guess is like really continuous through our partnership is just the way you present yourself. In real life, you are literally a ray of sunshine, and you look like a ray of sunshine.
Like that today.
I mean, it was meant to be. With our like orangey toned flowers. You are a ray of sunshine in real life, but you're a ray of sunshine online, and you are so good and so natural at putting yourself out there on social media, on different platforms, on TV. How do you see that featuring into your brand story?
Yeah.
And honestly, how did you become so natural and good at it?
Do you know, I will admit, I have had an advantage since my first day on planet Earth. My dad is a television cameraman, so whether I liked it or not.
Oh my God.
Right? I know, I've got a leg up.
Oh my God.
I had a camera in my face, whether
I had no idea.
Yeah. So my family, my grandfather was in television, my uncle is. There's like a lot of people in the media industry, so I don't think I was alled to be.
Oh my gosh, that makes sense.
You know what? I know, I've been working on this since the day I came to the earth.
I feel so much better now.
Good.
Wow.
But then I was a dancer growing up for my whole teenage years. I was always performing, so I think that gave me real confidence to express myself in that sense. But you know, I think the thing that makes me feel so confident and joyful and love showing up, whether it's on social media or on television, is I feel like I'm an ambassador for cake. I do.
So good.
I do.
What a dream.
Oh, what a dream, right? I think there's so much information on social media at all times. I think that's quite overwhelming for people online. So I like to show up for cake and say, hey, you know, it actually doesn't have to be all that serious. We can just have a bit of joy in our lives. We can come together, connect over a delicious slice. And I think that's what inspires me to be the way I am online. Because it's
my
not all
gosh.
that serious. It's about joy and connection and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is actually what flowers are also about.
Exactly.
Like joy, connection, creating
carving
that
out
sense
those
of
moments for connecting, I think is a really beautiful thing.
One of the other things that I'd love to touch on is this cake loving community that you've created. How did you build it?
It's so funny. I think we have all this terminology now for something that I have been accidentally doing for 13 years. Like this founder-led content and seeing behind the scenes. Like,
yes.
I was doing that before that had a label.
Yes.
I just was showing up on my Instagram stories because I'm enthusiastic about what I do.
Yep.
And I can't keep a lid on it. There's no big marketing strategy. I'm just so excited about what I do every day that I want to tell people about it. So that's what propels that, showing up online all the time. And through that has cultivated this incredible sense of community and trust. And people have been along for the journey with me for over a decade.
And I think that's it. People love to see an individual grow.
Yeah.
And
well, that's it. And they've seen not only my business grow, but me grow from a teenager to now being in my 30s. I'm like, their sense of connection and trust is because I've grown up through my business and online. So it's a really beautiful thing to have fostered. And it works two ways. There are people in my orbit who had ordered cakes from me in my first year of business who I still see turn up to events and classes and workshops. So those people have been really, really loyal to me in return. They're my cake lovers. It's so nice.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's incredible.
Yours is looking really lush.
Sparse.
I'm a
no,
little
yours
short.
is looking lush.
A little
yours
short so
is.
far. Okay.
No, it's beautiful.
I need to
it's
be
beautiful.
more confidence.
No,
more
I
confidence.
think you're like nailing it.
Okay.
I think it looks great.
More stuff.
Okay. So I have eaten many of your cakes.
So have I.
Many of your cakes.
Very guilty.
And they are delicious, but
Thank
they're
you.
also like little works of art. They are
that's so
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. How do you come up with the ideas? Like where does that come from?
I think from the flavour perspective, I love food. If I have any hobby, it is eating. I love eating. So I'm constantly out trying new restaurants, new bakeries, travelling and just eating. That's how I see the world. So from that perspective, my adventures, far and wide inspire the flavours. And we do things that I think are quite nostalgic. I'm never trying to shock anyone's palates in sweet bakes. It's always just hitting on those real nostalgic things and flavours that you grew up with, like, Milo and Nutella and all of those lovely, charming things.
All the best things.
all the naughty
best
things, totally. But in terms of the design, I never really looked to my own industry for inspiration. I'm not one to follow a trend.
Me too.
No,
Yes.
I'm heavily influenced by fashion and art, particularly fashion. I love nothing more than coming into work and picking out my outfit first and being like, great, today I'm going to bake a cake that matches.
Oh man,
that matches this. I know. I think
it's
that's
amazing.
The most fun jumping off point.
That's so that makes perfect sense.
I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And it's so fun when you do a delivery and people look at you like, is she matching that cake? Digital? Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. And so, as well as creating this beautiful brand, you've also now developed a Coobake workspace, I guess? How do you describe that?
Coobake Space is the brainchild of myself and my business partner, Alice Bennett, who she also has a cake business. So I think when you tell people, oh, I've gone into partnership with my rival in cake, people find that really jarring. But it works so well. I think the food space is, I suppose, like flowers. It's a really hard avenue to exist in. The margins are difficult.
Yes.
And sharing a kitchen sharing a kitchen is a really common thing. So we wanted to come together to share a cake kitchen just to benefit the cake businesses. But we have these grand ideas about how we could make it a co-working space. To start with, it was like, let's get a huge factory, and we'll divide it up. We'll have a florist in one part, we'll have bakers in another part, maybe a photographer, a graphic designer, and we'll all be able to bounce off each other, refer each other for jobs, use that sort of skill set. But that idea came to us just after the pandemic, and we're like, do we have enough capital to do that? I don't think we do. So we had to reduce the scope of that idea a little bit. So the Coobake Space, we have the commercial kitchen in the back where we do our respective cake orders from. And then front space, we did this incredible fit out that is very peachy and bright, but it's got
beautiful.
personality.
It's
it is us, but it's neutral enough that
you.
other brands can come in and use the space.
It's
and
spectacular.
It highlights what they do. So it's been really lovely for us to see. It's essentially a pop-up space, but the way that a pop-up space can be used and create additional opportunities for us as bakers as well to connect and collaborate with those brands.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen going through
Yeah.
it. You really support the whole industry in as far as you're allowing these other bakers that might not have a platform or an opportunity to connect with their customers in a
That's
real
a beautiful
way.
thing. Or even market stalls are really expensive to set them up and to merchandise and to look beautiful.
Yeah.
Our idea was to take that burden off of people and have a gorgeous space. It was already done. All they have to do is bring their product into the space and then start selling to their customers straight away.
And it's such a pretty space.
It's so pretty. I love going to work in there every day.
It's so pretty. It's incredible. I feel like everyone, do yourself a favour and go visit.
Redacted.
Change of plans, change of plans. So we obviously sell so many of your beautiful cakes through the website. And when people are ordering them, it's because they're celebrating a birthday or celebrating a milestone. And so it's really about that human connection. What I always say with Daily Blooms, it's about people connecting with each other. But I think the same applies to your business.
Absolutely.
Cakes are about celebration and connection and, you know, doing something special for your loved ones. Do you have any stories or anything that comes to mind where, I don't know, you've witnessed your cake being part of that?
I think you see that joy every single day with every single order. But I think any of those businesses that survived and existed during the pandemic have some, really special ones. So during the pandemic, we had a product, which we still do, but it's not quite as crazy as it was back then. It's all we were clutching onto. It's called the Cake Mail Club. So they're boxes of cake with the flavours changing every month, and there's always a different theme.
It's
so fun, such a fun idea. We love executing. We had a mum whose children were all scattered in different states during that time. So she would order a box of cake for her family members and ship them out, and they would all jump onto Zoom once all the boxes had been delivered. And then have a family meeting on Zoom, eating all the cakes and ranking them and discussing them, which I think was just
that's so fun.
Yeah, it's just so nice that our cakes carved out that amount of connection between a family who was separated by borders.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's super special.
That's so sweet.
And you've got so many things that you've done. It's actually going to be hard to talk about all of them. But one of the things you've done quite recently is write and publish a cake cookbook.
I did.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. So my debut cookbook is called Everybody Loves Cake, and I've been sitting on the concept for quite a while. I had the opportunity to put this book together with multiple publishers over the years, but I never wanted the vision of the book to be filtered down or watered down. So I've always been waiting for the right team, the right people. And the beautiful publishers at Penguin came along and completely embraced my vision for the book, which was a lot of people want you to write about yourself in a cookbook, or like these are my recipes and my story and my journey. But that didn't capture the essence of cake to me.
Okay.
Because it's about everybody else and getting together with everybody else. So the book has 80 recipes, but it also has 10 essays of people in my orbit, my friends and my family, and their connection to cake and the way that cake has presented itself in their life. And
that's so nice.
Facilitated something really joyful.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of it. Like, my nana's in there. It's
so
very special. My nana had the time of her life that day. She just didn't want to wash her makeup off. She's like, look at me on her glamorous photo shoot.
So nice. Like,
very
so
special.
fun for you and your family.
It was so lovely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely gorgeous. So one thing I love to find out with anyone that runs a business, and you run kind of many, what do you love doing and what do you find a bit of a challenge or less pleasant?
That answer is so clear to me. I am a creative through and through.
Yes, yeah.
So any of the creative stuff, I absolutely love. Any of the client-facing stuff, give it to me. But in terms of the anything to do with the numbers and organisational systems, I've had the luxury now of, I think, a decade in. I've finally been able to be big enough to palm all of that off to people who are far more qualified than I.
How good is that?
It's very nice. I think I now know where my strengths lie, and it is in the ideation and the creation and the storytelling.
Obviously.
And I have beautiful team members who are very good at every other aspect of organisational things.
But I mean, it's hard at the start when you do have to wear. As a 19-year-old, you had to wear
which
every hat.
I do love. I'm glad that I have this great skill set of many random things, from the MYOB to, you know, all of the payroll, all of that sort of stuff. Like, I know how to do it all. It's just best that I don't.
It's yeah. God, you know what? I actually have a finance background, and it's also best that I don't.
Really?
Yes.
There you go. Good to know where your strengths lie. That's so funny.
I'm scared to ask this question because you've done so many things, and I feel like you should just be taking a very long, well-earned break.
Never.
But knowing you, knowing that you're probably not about to do that, what do you think might be next for you and Sweet Bakes?
You know, I think at the moment, my focus is back in the business. I think over the last few years, I've been able to flit around and do some really cool creative projects, like the book and like TV.
Yes.
But I want to come back to building Sweet Bakes to the empire that I see in its future. So I'm coming back to basics.
Exciting.
Maybe that brings you peace, because I'm not telling you I'm flying
another
all
new
around the world.
project.
No. I'm going to come back to basics
Yes.
and really ensure that Sweet Bakes is something that has staying power for another 13 years.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
And on. The next little chapter is rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Just a quick, whatever comes to mind, quick answer. Don't think too much about it.
Okay.
Okay. Easy one to start with. Favorite cake flavour?
That's not easy. That's like picking a favourite child.
Not easy
Lemon
then.
curd and olive oil. Lemon, olive oil and lemon curd.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Favorite food destination?
Malaysia.
Ooh, yeah, okay. If you weren't a baking superstar, what would you be?
My lifelong goal is to renovate a chateau. So that's what I'd be doing.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you can totally do that.
I can totally do that, hey?
Yes.
Come over.
Oh my
Everyone's
God,
welcome
I
at the
will.
chateau.
I will. I will bring the flowers. If you could bake a cake for anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Meghan Markle. Yeah. I am so inspired by
juicy.
her. I think she's amazing.
Okay.
And I truly think that if anyone deserves a cake, it is that woman for enduring what she has endured.
She has endured.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, great.
Yeah.
Final question,
Okay.
importantly for Daily Blooms. If you could give a bunch of flowers to anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
I'm going to say my brother. I just had the privilege of seeing him get his first bunch of flowers 2 weeks ago for his birthday, and his face lit up. He was like, this is the first time I've ever been given a bunch of flowers, and it meant so much to him. So,
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Because boys,
Men need flowers,
Men
so-
need flowers. 100%.
yeah,
Men
my
like
brother.
flowers.
Men love flowers.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. That's such a great answer. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think it might be time for a little flower reveal. I mean, people have seen the work in progress.
What
but
do we
here
think?
Ta-da! Here we go. So, Alicia, just quickly for the audience, where can people find you?
They can find me across all social media platforms as Sweet Bakes, or my name, Alisha Henderson.
Amazing.
If you Google us, we're around.
Amazing.
Yeah,
And can they pop into your...
We don't do retail cakes all the time,
No.
but if you just want to pop in and say hi at Coobake Space, you're so welcome to.
And they could buy your book from?
They can buy my book from all good Australian book retailers.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.